Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with the brand new movie review, except not for a masterpiece, but for two certain remake slasher movies of the 2000s. And these reviews are going to be for Rob Zombie's Halloween and Halloween 2. And but the theatrical versions. And thank God it's the theatrical versions because we're going to get into why I'm glad it's the theatrical versions in this review. So we all know this. This movie is the 2007 Rob Zombie remake of the 1978 horror thriller classic of the same name, which you all probably know I reviewed back in October when I did my Halloween horror movie reviews. So yeah, this time I'm going to deciding to cover the remakes so people know my opinions on them. So, the film we all know is about, like the original, after being committed to a mental institution for 17 years, Michael Myers is now a grown man and still very dangerous. He escapes from the mental institution and immediately returns to Haddonfield to find his baby sister, Laurie. So yeah, well, okay. When I first saw this movie, I did not really like it, but I did not find it really terrible, like most people claim it is. I mean, unlike its sequel film, this movie at least has the faith in the Halloween franchise, has faith in the character of Michael Myers, actually Michael Myers actually looks like himself in the originals, and even actually does try to be a Halloween movie. So at least it knows what it is. Because while not as good as the original, the actress's performance are like still pretty decent. Like Tyler performance as Michael Myers, Malcolm McDowell's performance as Dr. Loomis. The death scenes are thankfully brutal and not all cartoonish this time. I'm glad they kind of went back to the more serious tone. The really original two movies had, like the scene where Michael beats his bully to death with a tree branch, or the part where Michael duct tapes his mom's abusive boyfriend, Ronnie, to a chair before slitting his throat with a kitchen knife. Michael's mask and attire designs are very creepy. It's actually, thankfully, a massive improvement over previous crap like Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, or even, you all know this, Halloween Resurrection. Most of the soundtrack is pretty good and sounds very close to the original, and there's a few scenes that are actually quite better and more brutal than the original, like where Michael kills the entire mental institution staff before escaping, and how we get to see Michael kill the man who he took his clothes from. And of course, definitely one of the best parts of the film, they actually got Danielle Harris, who, by the way, was actually Jamie Lloyd from some of the original Halloween movies, that play a role in this remake as actually Annie Brackett. Her performance is pretty good and one of the few actually good things of this movie. So that was actually a bonus. Well, now that I've mentioned all the good qualities, we're going to get into the really bad qualities. Here's many things. The first half of the film is Michael as a kid and shows him having a stereotypical and cliched messed up childhood results in homicidal maniac backstory. And it also gives Michael way too much character and backstory, which just takes away the mysterious evil that lurks within him. In the original, we never knew how he started killing people. We never knew nothing about him. That made him work so well in the original film. Here, we just basically get some random cliched backstory of him for no reason, and it basically takes away everything that works so well with the character in the original. The movie even contains several stereotypes, like specifically young Michael Myers basically being an edgy, weird kid that everyone hates. There's several plot holes here and there in the film, like how Michael's able to bury his mask and knife under a wooden floor shortly after killing 3 people in his house, and a few of the characters, like And of course, there's the one that really, really, really is irritating the most. Remember the characters in the original when they were actually just your average changers, but actually likable characters you could root for and actually feel bad for if they get killed and actually want them to survive? Here, I'm bashing the Weinstein Company on this part. The Weinstein Company, specifically clearly Harvey Weinstein himself, clearly thought it would be way better if everybody were very foul-mouthed and rude, bitchy, immature people who just wanted to care more about getting laid. Specifically, a character such as Linda, who is that cheery, likable teen girl in the original, becomes this very foul-mouthed and rude person in the remake. And the fact that Michael actually cares about his long-lost sister Laurie Strode instead of trying to kill her is another disloyalty to Michael's character. And a few of the characters, but screw that reason. I'm just going to say this. Every single character in this movie, every character is unlikable. No one in this movie is likable, guys. Like, I could go on and on about every unlikable character, but I'll just mention a few characters from Michael's childhood, like his stepdad Ronnie and older sister Judith. They're basically the reason he became who he currently is as an adult, but not like anyone else is better, really. Like, especially, oh god. And horror metal, if you were watching this, I agree with you on Laurie Strode. Scout Taylor Compton's performance as Laurie Strode is horrible. It's irritating, it's cringeworthy. Especially the opening scene where the minute we see her, she makes sex-related puns and the director's cut. Oh, this gets better in the director's cut. He even does this sex pun with the bagel. Like, yeah, that one. Sorry for actually doing that, but I need to describe it what it was. And some of the scenes are even stolen from the original, but then again, it's a remake, so... Like how Michael stalks Laurie outside her window at school and disappears in the next shot. And there was another infamous scene that's thankfully only in the director's cut, and in this part, I'm gonna mention why I'm glad I'm reviewing the theatrical cut. There is one infamous scene where two custodians take a young woman out of her cell and they her. I think you know what I mean by saying that. In fact, the scene itself is literally entirely pointless, with the exception over how Michael escapes other than just for shock value and just feels mostly cheap. Like, this isn't what we watched the original for. That's really effed up and disgusting, and I think the Weinstein Company clearly was going overboard there. It just makes Michael a little less scary, or it makes you just root for him to actually kill the two. Thankfully, it's only the director's cut because it's not really a needed scene. So yeah, despite all the really, really bad qualities I have of this movie, do I think it's a terrible remake? Well, no. I'm more mixed on it. I don't hate it as much as the next movie that came after this one, but I don't really think it's great either. I mean, there are some good qualities it still has and some really bad qualities, but it's just mostly your average unnecessary remake, really. So yeah, I'm more mixed on it. It's both good and it's both bad. And here's how I would rank this one. I am going to rank Rob Zombie's Halloween a 6 out of 10. Well, that finishes my review on the first Rob Zombie remake. And the next review is going to be for its follow film, and that's... no. Yeah... This is the one I agree with horror metal on. This is... Yeah, Halloween 2 2009 is going to be next. That's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. But all in all, that'll be it for this review, guys. Thank you all for watching. And if you like this and want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.